Anya here, and I'm back with another video for Ophelia Talks Crochet, and today we are making this lemon slice pencil case. Well, in fact, we are making the square, the lemon slice square, which you could use of course for whatever you fancy, but I just fancied making a new pencil case to use as a little sort of, toiletries bag, or even to put my paints in, or just to have in your handbag to keep things together. So these are really handy little pouches, and I just love making them. Also, of course, you only need 4 squares for this, and I think it is a lovely project just if you wanted to try out a new square, and in this case of course it's the lemon square. So let me show you how to make this. So first of all, what do you need for this project? Well, I am using King Cole Cotton Soft. This is 100% cotton yarn. It's a DK thickness. It's a really nice cotton to work with. And I am using my 3.5 to go with this yarn, although it is prescribed for a 4mm hook. But for my tension, I always use a 3.5. You will also need scissors and a darning needle. And I am also using a base of a pencil case, a really simple canvas pencil case which you can get via Amazon or craft stores, and I am using a piece of stabilizer, and this is something that you can buy to make your bag stand up, and I use this to put around my pencil case before I put my crocheted cover on, and this makes it look much more professional and much nicer than it would be if you did this without the stabilizer, because then it'll be all floppy. So this will help in the appearance of your pencil case. The colors I am using are white, antique gold, buttercup and sax. We also have a lemon color pack, and that one has all these colors in it. You will also need needle and thread. So let's get started with making the lemon square. So we're going to make a slip knot. Insert your hook. I'm using my 3.5 and I use American terminology. And we're going to get started with doing a chain 4. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. Then you go back to your first chain and you go into it, and I always need to help it a little bit. There we go. You bring back the working yarn and you bring it through the loop on your hook as well. So we have now made a small circle here, and that's the start of our little center of the square that we are making. Now into this center we're going to place double crochets. To get started, we're going to have to do a chain 2 to make the height for our double crochets, and this one will count as a double crochet but only at the end of the row, so we'll sort that out in a moment. And we need to do 12 double crochets, but as this one is going to count for 1, we are going to do 11 double crochets into the little circle. So find the opening, yarn over and insert into the middle of your little circle there, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 and yarn over, pull through 2. So that's our first double crochet made. And now we're going to repeat this 11 times in total. And as you can see, I am trying to take along my end as well so that it gets sewn in a little bit automatically. So there we are. I'm going to keep on repeating this until I have done 11 double crochets. And I'll meet you here. There we go. If you count back now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You will have 11 V's, and you're going to place your hook under the 11th one here. There we go. And now we do our slip stitch to close the round, and as you can see, there's that chain 2 that we did in the beginning, and now the slip stitch is going to form the top of the chain 2, as you can see, and now we have 12 V's going around the outside of our work. we are now going to change color. So pull up your loop and we're going to cut off the yarn. So now we're going to start using our buttercup, so the lighter yellow, and we're going to get started with a slip knot, insert your hook, and we're going to go and have a look at our disc that we have already made, the center of our lemon slice, and we're going to insert into the back loop only, because we will need the front loops to make our segments later on. Okay, so if you have a good look at your V, this one closest to you is the front loop, this one is the back loop, so we're going to pick that one up, but of course we are doing double crochet, so that means you're going to have to yarn over first, pick up the back loop, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Now this is a row 2 in a flat circle, so that means we're going to have to put a second stitch into the same location. So once again, I'm holding on to the base to make sure I don't expand it more than I need to. So I'm going to place 2 double crochets in each stitch around. I have made it to the end of the round. I am now going to skip the standing stitch that we did, go under the next usable V, and I am going to place my slip stitch there. This has now closed the round, giving us 24 stitches. So now for round 3, we are going to do the normal increase for a flat circle. So that means we are going to start with a chain 2. This will be disregarded for now. And we are going to do an increase ratio of 3 stitches. So the first location we place 1 double crochet, and the second location we place 2 double crochets. There we go. So 1 and 2. This will give us 36 stitches at the end of the round, and I will see you there to show you how I'm going to be closing that round. So I've just done my last little repeat here. I started with 1 double crochet. Now I've placed a first double crochet into the last one, skip the 2 chains, go under the next V, and close the round. There we go. So this is the end of this color. I'm going to cut it off. So now we are ready for row 4, and row 4 we're going to do that in white. So we are going to make our slip knot, insert the hook, and we're going to get started with a single crochet, with a standing single crochet. So you can get started anywhere you would like. Pick up the 2 loops, there we go. And in fact we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first 3 stitches. So that's the first one, the second one, and the third one. And then the 4th stitch is going to be a double treble in the front loop only of your center. So for a double treble you're going to yarn over 3 times, then you point your hook down towards the center, and then here this loop is sort of in the pathway of my hook, so that's the one that we're going to pick up. You're going to then bring back the yarn, pull up a loop like so, yarn over, pull through 2, and I hold on to this front loop here so it doesn't get extended beyond, you know, what it should do. And you keep on yarning over and pulling through 2. There we go. And this now brings us back to the edge where we are doing our single crochets. We are going to skip the 4th stitch. So let me have a look. So this stitch is used. This one is the one for our double treble. And then here, this is the stitch that we're going to start using again for our, and this is where I ended my round earlier, for my 3 single crochets. So 1, 2 and 3, And then we do that double treble again. 1, 2, 3. Now, before I continue, we are going to do 9 double trebles. So that means we're going to anchor 9 times into our center. But we have 12 front loops. Okay, so what we're going to do is we've anchored here into this front loop. Now I'm anchoring into the one next to it, and then the next time into the one next to it, so 3 in a row. Then we're going to leave 1 unworked, then 3 in a row, 1 unworked, 3 in a row, 1 unworked, and that should work out. Okay, so I'm going to go into the next one here, so next to that previous one, there we go, and I'm going to make my double treble, or however many doubles this is. There we go, voila, skipping this one, going under this one here, 1, 2 and 3. So I am now at the end of my round. This is the stitch that I'm not going to be using. I've just done my double treble instead. Here I've got my first one. I am going to skip this one and go under the next V to do my slip stitch, which then will lie over that first one again. There we go. So this is our segments done, and I'm going to cut off the yarn. So now for round 5, we're going to do a round in antique gold to make the lemon peel. So we are doing single crochets. We're going to do 1 single crochet in the first 8 stitches. So let me get started with the first as a standing single crochet, and now we are doing the next 7 as the normal single crochet. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, and in the next stitch we're going to do 2 single crochets. We're going to repeat this repeat 4 times. That means we will have 40 stitches at the end of the round. There we go. I've just done my last stitch, and that's of course 2 single crochets that I had to do there, skipping this standing stitch and going under the V to make sure I can do my slip stitch there. So we have got our lemon slice finished, cut off the yarn, and now we are ready to start making it into a square and to squaring up our circle. So you must make sure you have 40 stitches in this last round. So I have my slip knot ready on my hook. I'm going to get started with doing single crochets. In fact, we're doing 1 single crochet in the first 5 stitches, but this time we're not going to be picking up the V. We are going to be picking up this 3rd loop here. Now the reason why we do that is so that we have the V nicely laying to the top, and that makes a lovely effect in our square. So this is going to be a little bit more work, and it will take a little bit more time to do that, but I think it is going to be worth it in the end. So I think the easiest way to do it is to hold your hook with the hook down and try and get the 3rd loop by doing that. And of course, there we go. It is possible that your yarn splits, but just do it carefully so you can pick all the strands up. There we go. So that's our first single crochet. We're going to do 5 of them, and yes, this is more cumbersome, but like I said, it is going to be worth it. So it's just this round that we need to do this in. So that's 3, 4, and here is the 5th one, and doing the hook, little trick with the hook does help, 5. So here I've done my 5 single crochets. Now we are going to place a half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So you yarn over, you go and find that 3rd loop, and you do your half double crochet, one, and a second one, voila, there we go. And now we are going to create the corner, and the corner is made up of 2 double crochets, 2 chains and 2 double crochets, and we're placing all of them in that third loop. So yarn over for your double crochet into the third loop, there we go, and once you've picked it up once, I'm sure you can get into it again, voila. So 2 double crochets, 2 chains and 2 double crochets, voila. And then in the next stitch, so once again here we are picking up that third loop, don't forget to yarn over, we're going to place 1 half double crochet. Yeah, I split it somewhere, so yes, there we are, that's all the strands. So 1 half double crochet, and in the next one as well, 1 half double crochet, voila. So this little repeat that we have just done now, you're going to repeat another 3 times. This will then create your square. And there we have it. I've made it all the way around, ended of course with my last 2 stitches as half double crochets. Now I am here, I'm going to have to close the round, skipping this first V, going under the next one, and I do a slip stitch to close my round. There we go, voila. And now I'm going to do a round of double crochets because of course we need to bulk out our square. So we're going to chain 2, and in each stitch we're going to place a double crochet. And then here, when you get to the corner chain space, in there you're going to do 2 double crochets, 2 chains and 2 double crochets. Voila, and that has made our corner. At the end of the round, you've got this chain 2 coming out of the last stitch, so we're going to make it count as a double crochet. So skip the chain 2, go under the next V there, and I do my slip stitch there. That closes the round and ends my square. To make the pencil case, you will need 4 squares. Okay, so now with the sacks, we are going to make a slip knot, insert your hook, and we're going to crochet 2 squares together. So I have already done that there. So let's do that again here. So you're going to hold your 2 squares with the good sides on the outside. Now this will create a ridge on the outside, and I quite like that, but if you don't like that and you want this flat edge, then hold them with the bad sides on the outside. But we're going to go for the structured look, so we are going to place the single crochet itself on the outside of our work. So you're going to get started by putting your hook into the corner chain spaces, doing 2 single crochets like so, and then you look for the inner loops. So I'm going to go into here for my back loop there, and then here just have a good look, maybe turn your work around. This V belongs to this stitch here, so it is this strand that you need to pick up. And if you've done that for the first one, then you'll know which one to use the next time. So here we go, this one, and then the next one is the one there, voila. And this is how you are going to continue all along the side of these 2 squares. Now towards the end it should all tally up, so make sure you haven't skipped any stitches. There we go, so that's the last stitch, and then here I'm going to go into the corner chain space and place 2 single crochets. Voila. So now that we have done these, we are going to make sure that they are lying nice and flat there. Voila. And of course you do that with the other 2 as well. And now we're going to put these together like so. So with the good sides on the outside, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to start here, go around the outside on 3 sides, of course, because we have to put our pencil case inside. And we're going to get started here, of course, into the chain space for 2 single crochets. And then here we find the inner loops to go under to create our inner loop single crochets, and off we go. So when you get to the corner chain space, you're going to go into it and place 3 single crochets. That's enough to make your corner and for you to sort of turn the corner, and then to start using those inner loops again along the base of your panels. When you get to the join here, you're going to go into the corner chain spaces here and do your single crochet, but only just the one. Then here I'm going to go into that first V there. I'm just going to go and manage to get through the fabric there, then go to the other side, go through the fabric and come out. I'm going to try and come out in that V there, in that first V, and then I'm going to pick up the yarn, pull it back and do a single crochet, and then 1 single crochet into that corner chain space, and then you continue on. So I will see you now when you have done the 3 sides of your little pouch. As you can see, our little pouch isn't quite tall enough for the pencil case, so we are going to add another round. So I'm going to chain 2. So in the end here, of course, I finished with 2 single crochets into my chain spaces. And now we're going to open up the pouch. We're going to chain 2, and into the corner chain space, I'm going to do 1 half double crochet, and then into each stitch, back loop only, I'm going to do a half double crochet all around my pouch. This will now give me a little bit more height, and will also give me a little bit of fabric where I can then sew into with my needle and thread to attach it to my pencil case. There we go. When you get to a join like this, you're going to go into the chain space first of all. Then you are going to go under the first or the second V. I tend to choose the second V of the join, and I'm just going to place my half double crochet in there, and then I go to the chain space and place my half double crochet there. Voila. When you get to the end of the round, you do your last half double crochet into that chain space there. Then here, of course, we started with 2 chains. We're going to skip these here, and then go under the V of that first half double crochet that we did, and you do your slip stitch there. Voila. So cut off the yarn and sew in the ends that you can't hide. Place your stabilizer and your pencil case inside your crocheted cover. Then, using a needle and thread, I lift up the flap of the zip, and from the inside of my pencil case I go to the outside. Then pull up the crochet and weave in and out of the stitches, going in and out of the pencil case as well, of course. So with a running stitch through your crochet and through your pencil case each time I pull up the crochet, making sure I go through it. I don't actually go through my stabilizer, I just leave that where it is. I go all along the edge of my pouch with a running stitch, and that secures the pouch to the pencil case. So here we are, I have finished my pouch and it's looking nice. I'm loving the effect of the lemon slices onto the blue, and yeah, I hope you will try and make it. In any case, the square is a lovely square, so what would you use it for if you didn't make this pencil case? So I would be interested to find out. Let me know in the comments down below. Leave me a thumbs up if you like this video, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!